The series gained unexpected advocates. Sleep specialists began prescribing specific episodes to patients with anxiety-induced insomnia. Parents of neurodivergent children formed online groups to share which episodes worked best for different sensory needs. A Reddit community with over 200,000 members dedicated itself to analyzing the production techniques that made the documentaries so effective. 15 hours of content, 7 continents, 32 filming locations, 117 sleepless nights transformed into a global phenomenon that had helped millions find rest. On the evening of the final episode's premiere, Modern Civilizations, From Industrial Revolution to Digital Age, Maya sat alone in her apartment, watching the viewer count climb into the hundreds of thousands within the first hour. Her phone buzzed constantly with congratulatory messages, but one text stood out, from her doctor: "Using your own medicine tonight. Sweet dreams." Maya smiled and activated her screen's blue light filter. The series had changed her in unexpected ways. The insomnia that had once tortured her now only returned occasionally, usually when she was developing new episode concepts. More surprisingly, her academic research had evolved. By seeking the peaceful narratives of history, the trade relationships, artistic exchanges, and collaborative innovations, she had discovered a counterbalance to the conflict-centered historical narratives that dominated academic discourse. The following semester, her course Transcultural Cooperation Through History had a waitlist 3 times longer than available seats. Students reported struggling to stay awake while reviewing her recorded lectures at night, but showing up to in-person discussions with deeper questions than she'd encountered in years of teaching. Maya received offers to create similar series on literature, philosophy, and science, but she declined most of them, focusing instead on a new project, a research center dedicated to historical content as therapeutic intervention. The university, recognizing both the academic and commercial potential, provided a dedicated building. As she guided a donor through the center's new sound engineering lab, Maya paused by a wall display showing a world map with pinpoints of light representing viewers currently streaming their documentaries. "So what's your secret?" the donor asked. "I've tried everything for my insomnia." Maya watched the lights flickering across the digital map like stars, each one a person finding peaceful rest through history's quieter moments. "The secret is that history doesn't have to be exciting to be meaningful," she replied. "Sometimes, the most important stories are the ones that don't keep you up at night." Maya Chen jolted awake at 3:17 am, the same time she'd awakened for the past 73 nights. Her bedroom walls were covered with post-it notes, fragments of historical research, teaching reminders, and increasingly desperate sleep remedies. As a rising star history professor at Berkeley specializing in cross-cultural exchange, Maya's days were intellectually fulfilling, but her nights had become a battlefield. Tonight's failed sleep aid, an expensive white noise machine that now sat unplugged on her nightstand, next to 5 different types of melatonin and a cooling eye mask. She reached for her tablet, wincing at the light. While scrolling through a history forum where she sometimes contributed research, she noticed a thread titled "How I Finally Beat Academic Insomnia." The post described history documentaries specifically engineered for sleep, with carefully modulated narration, gentle musical progressions, and slow panning shots of ancient sites. Desperate, Maya found an episode about Mesopotamian trade routes. The narrator's voice floated over stunning aerial footage of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. She noticed subtle production choices, the way they avoided jarring transitions, how the music never crescendoed unexpectedly. As the documentary explored cuneiform accounting tablets, Maya's analytical mind surrendered to sleep for the first time in months. She woke the next morning stunned to discover 7 hours had passed without interruption. "This format breaks every rule we teach about engaging presentations," Maya explained to her department chair, Dr. Whitfield, who watched her with increasing curiosity. "Yet it serves an entirely different purpose. It's educationally sound, but intentionally soothing." Dr. Whitfield glanced at the university's recent initiative for public education content. "The grant deadline is Friday. I doubt anyone else is pitching history ASMR." Maya winced. It's not exactly ASMR. I know what it is, Whitfield interrupted, sliding the application across the desk. It's the first time you've shown genuine enthusiasm since your 10-year review. Within weeks, Maya's small team transformed her campus office into a production headquarters. Raj Patel, a cinematographer whose nature documentaries had won regional awards, brought in equipment that made Maya's eyes widen. The 4K cameras are essential, he insisted, showing her test footage of sunrise at a local mission. We want viewers to feel they could reach out and touch the stonework before they drift off. Elena Vasquez, a composer whose ambient music had been featured in meditation apps, created custom tracks for each civilization. The Byzantine segment needs different instrumentation than the Incan one, she explained, playing samples that somehow evoke distinct cultural elements while remaining hypnotically calming. Their first filming challenge arrived when the museum that housed the Mesopotamian artifacts refused their after-hours request. We need the galleries empty, with controlled lighting, Maya explained to the curator, who remained skeptical until Maya showed him their concept footage. The curator leaned forward, visibly fighting to keep his eyes open as Maya's gentle narration described irrigation techniques. That's remarkably effective, he admitted, signing the permission forms before they left. The university's digital education platform had never seen traffic like this. 3 months after uploading the first 5 hours, covering ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, Greece, and Rome. The analytics showed viewers were watching the full episodes multiple times, something unheard of for educational content. Maya stared at her laptop screen in disbelief as the email from Netstream Entertainment loaded. The streaming giant was offering exclusive rights and funding for the remaining 10 hours, with an advance large enough to secure filming permissions at sites Maya had assumed would be impossible. They want us at Machu Picchu for the pre-Columbian segment, she told her team, who had grown to include specialized researchers, a lighting director, and production assistants, and they secured night access to sections of Angkor Wat. As they expanded their filming locations, an unexpected challenge emerged. Maya's voice had become too recognizable. Viewers were sending messages describing how they had developed a Pavlovian response to her narration. The moment she began speaking, they felt drowsy. This became problematic when she gave a guest lecture at Princeton, and 3 students in the front row fell asleep within minutes.